What's going on, YouTube? Northeast here. Something a little different today. We're doing a little sports cards basic. I think it's going to be a new little mini series that I kind of pop these up every once in a while, just going over some basic stuff. For many of you guys, this might be completely obvious, but we've all been on the opposite end of receiving our eBay purchases or from Facebook Marketplace or whatever. And you get them, and they're shipped in like a Ziploc bag and a plain white envelope for like a $400 card. So I needed to ship something out tomorrow morning. So I figured I would pop on here really quick and just kind of show you guys how I ship. And specifically, we're talking today about graded cards. I may do a separate video for non-graded cards, but specifically for graded cards, I take a few extra precautions. And we're gonna say moderate and up graded cards, not like a $50 whatever. The subject in question today is a Tatum Genesis that I just sold on eBay this weekend. Um, this was north of about $300. So on the eBay listings, when I sell on eBay, I typically charge for shipping. And anything over this price range, I usually almost always send in a priority mail flat rate box. These are awesome. You can get these free from the post office. So this is the first thing you're going to need. Second thing you're going to need, now mine is already in a bag. And when I say bag, I mean this little protective sleeve for you guys that don't know. Those are called team bags. You can get them from Ultra Pro. These are just generic ones. They do sell. I like to use Superior Fits for the things I'm keeping in my PC. But you could get general team bags. You should have team bags laying around anyways if you're in the card game for shipping graded and non-grading cards. And most of the stuff I'm talking about, I'm going to link Amazon links to down below in case you guys are looking for stuff. So you want your team bags because you want to put your graded cards inside team bags to help protect them from getting scratched. Yes, the card's already in a nice PSA, BGS, SGC case, but you don't want this case getting scratched up. So you want to put it in something extra on top of that. We have our packing tape here, which you usually don't need for priority mailboxes because the way that they fold up and everything, but I like to be a little extra cautious and put a few extra pieces of tape on them. Some bubble wrap. I just have some loose bubble wrap here. Painter's tape. I don't know that we'll use this today, but I just wanted to bring this up. Always use painter's tape to tape your cards up, not regular scotch tape or shipping tape. This is for the outside of the boxes. This is for on cards. And where you mainly want to use this is if you're sealing up a regular top loader to prevent a card from coming out of it. You would rip off a little piece of painter's tape and then put it across the top here to stop the card from coming out. You should also put it in a team bag as well to just kind of help protect it. Now, with graded cards, that's not necessarily a concern, but just public service announcement, always use painter's tape, not scotch tape, not shipping tape when you are doing anything basically inside the box to tape up cards. Scotch tape is a pain in the butt to get off. And then the other key, and this is stuff I just use recycled Amazon boxes, is cardboard. You want to cut two pieces of cardboard in the same shape of whatever it is that you are shipping and put it like this. Very important. And then I also use one of these, a little 4x6 or 4x8 bubble mailer. I use these a lot standalone to ship like one or two cards off, like say this Alex Caruso we were sending instead of the graded card. I would, put cardboard around this, put the painter's tape on top, put it in a team bag, slide it in here, slap the shipping label on, and off she goes. For graded cards, I like to put the graded cards inside the priority mailbox, just to give it some extra protection. So we have our cardboard. I pre-cut this already. I measured it out, laid the slab down, and pre-cut it. This is to help protect it from getting cracked. Now, once again, it's in a priority mailbox. That should help. But when you're shipping off a nice graded card, take all the precautions that you possibly can. If I ship lower end graded cards, sometimes I'll do this and then put it just inside. I'll usually use bubble mailers bigger than this. Put it inside a regular bubble mailer to ship off. So I actually am going to use a little bit of painter's tape here just to lock this kind of in place so it doesn't shift all over hell. And once again, use painter's tape on this stuff, guys. Don't use scotch tape or packing tape. And we're just going to put 2 pieces like that just to kind of hold this together. Then I'm going to take this, and this is going to be an extremely tight fit. So I might have to end up doing this off camera. But then I'm going to slide this down into the bubble mailer. If this was a PSA or BGS slab, this would fit a lot easier. Since it's an SGC slab, they're a little bit bigger. There we go. Got it in there. So you can see now we have the bubble mailer, cardboard, and the team bag all as layers of protection. They're all doing a different thing. The cardboard and the bubble help stop it if it takes an impact from potentially cracking the case. And then the team bag is just to help from scratches. So we just seal that up like normal. Now, you could just fire this right in there, but you can see this is a lot bigger than the inside of the box. And we don't want this bouncing around like that. So this is why I just have some loose bubble wrap. You could use paper if you wanted to. You know, whatever you want. I always have bubble wrap laying around. I keep it whenever I buy something. I keep the extra bubble wrap laying around specifically for these instances. Now, you don't got to get crazy here and tape it all up. I usually just wrap it around it like that. And then do this off screen really quick. Then just slide it down in there. The bubble wrap just helps keep it from bouncing around in there a lot, getting jostled, and gives it, once again, a little extra layer of protection. Now I got a little excess space in there. I'm not too worried about that. The bubble wrap is going to help it from going too crazy. If you wanted to go a little next level, you could put a little bit in there. I folded the sides over, so what I'm going to do is just kind of flatten it out a little bit so it sits in there. And then you are simply just going to put it down, seal up this box. And you are good to go. So it's bouncing around a little bit in there. Left to right, not too much. Top to bottom, just a little bit. I could have put a little bit more bubble wrap in there, maybe a little bit of paper down on the side. Sometimes I have foam laying around that I'll slide in there. And then obviously your label will go on there once I get it off the printer. Now, I like to take an extra step here. And this is just because I just don't trust these boxes. Even though they do seem to stay sealed relatively well. I like to just clip off a couple little pieces of packing tape and just put them over the sides right here. Once again, this is just me being anal. Just to kind of help keep everything in place. And then I usually don't worry too much about this front lip. This usually stays down fairly easily. But if you wanted to be a little extra careful, you could take a piece of packing tape and lay it over there, just if you're a little worried about that. But these priority mail flat rate boxes usually stay sealed pretty well. It costs $8 to ship these typically. Obviously, you get a little bit of a discount if you're sending through eBay. And weight does not matter. In our case, shipping graded cards, weight's not going to be a concern. But yeah, that's pretty much it for graded cards. This is what I like to do. I kind of like to go above and beyond, especially for anything over. I say I usually include priority flat rate boxes on anything over $300. Once again, give or take a little bit. And I do for anything creeping up towards 300. I almost always tack on a couple extra bucks for insurance. Some people will say you're better off not paying it. Myself personally, I don't want to necessarily take the risk, especially just with all the eBay shenanigans going on now, the way the U.S. Postal Service is running right now. Um, you know, I don't want to eat the risk on a $300 or $400 card that it gets lost and then I'm stuck eating it. On something under $100, I'll just let it ride most of the time, depending on what it is. But eBay makes it pretty simple just to purchase the extra shipping right on the screen when you go to print out the labels. So I usually recommend picking up the extra insurance for anything over a few $100s. Sometimes I'll insure the full amount. Sometimes I will insure partial, to kind of protect myself a little bit both ways, where I'm, not paying everything for the insurance, but if something would go wrong, I'd get like half or three-quarters of the value back. You do get a little bit of insurance when you use these priority flat rate boxes. I think it's typically $50 on these. So then, I only have to purchase maybe $200 of insurance, and then I'm up to 250 if something goes wrong, to cover, three-quarters of the cost of the card. So that's all I got for you guys today. I'm gonna do a few other little things like this. I'm gonna probably do one on non-graded cards. It's fairly similar, and I wouldn't mind doing one on how I ship stuff when I send it into grading, because that's a little bit of a different process. It's very similar to this, but there's a few extra steps that I take when I send things in to be graded. And I definitely insure that stuff for the full amount. So if you have any questions on anything, leave them in the comments down below. Like, comment, sub, all the YouTube shenanigans, and we will catch you guys on the next one. Peace.